Imagine a top secret weapon, right? A master key built by spies that can unlock pretty much any door they want. Now, what if that key got stolen, copied, and just leaked to the entire world? Well, that's not the plot of some new spy movie. It's exactly what just happened in the world of cybersecurity. And believe me, it affects millions of us. So yeah, this is the big question we're really digging into today. We're talking about a powerful, weaponized tool, originally designed for super targeted surveillance that has completely broken containment. The fallout from this is massive. So what is this digital master key anyway? It's called an exploit kit. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a digital skeleton key. Instead of just picking one lock, this thing carries a whole ring of keys. Each key is designed to pop open a different known security flaw. And the second it finds a weakness in your phone's software, click, it unlocks the door and the hacker is in. Okay, so our story begins with the discovery of one of these skeleton keys. It was the very first clue in a much, much larger investigation. And this one had a codename Coruna. It all started when the folks over at Google's threat intelligence group, who are kind of like digital detectives, stumbled onto something huge. They found Coruna. This wasn't just some simple hack. It was a highly sophisticated kit, armed with a whole arsenal of exploits that could break into iPhones running software going back several years. And this timeline, it shows you just how fast these weapons can spread. I mean, look at this. Coruna started out as a niche tool, used by just one customer of a surveillance company. A few months later, a Russian espionage group is using it to hit Ukrainian websites. And by the end of the year, a Chinese financial scam ring is using it in huge campaigns to steal crypto. It went from a surgical scalpel to a sledgehammer, just like that. Okay, so this looks super technical, right? Don't worry about all the jargon like PPL bypass or those CVE codes. Here's the main takeaway. What this shows us is that the kit had specific tools to attack different parts of the iPhone, covering a huge range of versions, all the way from iOS 13 up to iOS 17. It was a seriously comprehensive weapon. And this was only the beginning. Finding Corona wasn't just a one-off thing. No, it was the first sign of a really disturbing new trend, something researchers started calling a dark sword proliferation. So, pretty soon after Corona was found, a second, very similar exploit kit called DarkSword showed up, and its existence basically confirmed a terrifying new reality. A thriving black market for government-grade cyber weapons was officially open for business. And the list of who was using it was, well, it was all over the place. You had one group using a fake Snapchat site to go after people in Saudi Arabia. You had a commercial surveillance company using it against targets in Turkey and Malaysia. And hey, remember that Russian group from the Corona case? They were back, and now they had upgraded to the newer, more powerful DarkSword for their attacks in Ukraine. But then, the absolute worst-case scenario happened. This controlled, incredibly dangerous weapon escaped the shadows and was just released into the wild for anyone to find. Pandora's box was officially open. The entire DarkSword exploit kit, the whole shebang, was leaked and posted publicly on GitHub, which is a hugely popular website for sharing code. As the Tech Buzz put it, this made these sophisticated hacking tools freely accessible to anyone with basic technical skills. The barrier to entry for this kind of attack just completely collapsed. So what does a public leak like this actually mean in real numbers? Well, researchers estimate that up to 270 million iPhones running older, unpatched software are now vulnerable. That is the massive, massive potential scale of this digital Pandora's box. I know, this all sounds absolutely terrifying. But the most important part of this whole story is what you can actually do about it. So let's shift gears from the global threat to your personal protection plan. The first step is just knowing what to look for, right? These tools, as powerful as they are, often leave behind little clues. The key is being able to recognize those warning signs. So according to the cybersecurity experts, here are the biggest red flags. You've got physical signs, like your batteries suddenly draining way too fast or your phone getting really hot. Keep an eye out for weird spikes in your data usage, or maybe you see apps that you swear you never installed. Other big signs, your friends telling you they're getting strange messages from you, or your browser is just acting bizarre. And you have to pay close attention to constant prompts for your Apple ID password, and especially look for unknown configuration profiles in your settings. That right there is a huge giveaway that this kind of malware is on your device. Okay, so if you're seeing any of those signs, don't panic. Here is your 5-step recovery plan.
First, and this is important, go to a different trusted computer and immediately change your Apple ID password and any other critical passwords. Second, check the devices logged into your Apple ID and just kick out anything you don't recognize. Third, go through your phone and manually delete any sketchy-looking apps or profiles. Fourth, and this is probably the most important step, update your iOS. The latest software from Apple patches the very holes these tools use to get in. And finally, if all else fails, a full factory reset is your last resort.
So you update your phone. You're safe from Coruna and DarkSword. For now. But what this whole story really shows us is that this cat-and-mouse game never actually ends. The leak of these tools has changed the entire threat landscape forever. It proves that even government-grade weapons can end up in anyone's hands. So it leaves us with one critical question to think about. What's the next master key being forged in the shadows? And are we going to be ready when that one leaks too?